Hello again, it's the Filipino Baba here. Tonight we're going to make Makivnyk, or poppy seed roll. So the dough for the poppy seed roll is the same as the dough I used when I made papushke. So we're going to make a rich, basic, sweet dough in Savella Stechishin's book. And we're going to need 2 packets of traditional yeast, 1/3 cup of lukewarm water, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of scalded milk, 4 egg yolks, 2 whole eggs, half a cup of butter, half a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of salt, and about 4.5 to 5 cups of flour, sifted. So first step, we're going to make our sponge. We're going to dissolve the 2 teaspoons of sugar and water. We're going to dissolve that and then add in our 2 packets of traditional yeast, not instant, traditional. And then I'm going to add the first batch of flour along with the scalded milk. And now we're just going to mix this really well, and then we're going to cover it and store it somewhere warm until it is nice and bubbly. Now we're going to cream the 1/2 cup butter with the 1/2 cup sugar. So we're going to cream this. Next, we're going to beat together our 2 whole eggs with the 4 egg yolks and the salt. So we're gonna just beat this together. I should have gotten a larger container so we don't spill. Rookie mistake. Or a smaller whisk. Oops, you didn't see that. And next we're going to combine that in here along with our extremely bubbly sponge. And next we're going to add our vanilla. I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the ingredients about lemon zest. We're supposed to have a zest of 1 lemon. I ran out of lemons, so I'm actually going to add orange zest. Now I'm going to just mix all of this up together. Now that I've mixed all of the other ingredients, it's time to start adding the flour. So I'm going to do this cup by cup, because it called for 4.5 to 5 cups, so I'm just gonna slowly add it and not all in one go. So now what I've done is I've turned over the flour to my kitchen counter. I'm going to start kneading this for 10 minutes. Now I'm done kneading my dough, so I'm going to transfer this to the bowl, cover it up, and let it rise. And then I'm going to punch it down and then let it rise again. So we're doing 2 dough rises. And what I'm going to do is put it inside our oven with the light on. See you soon. So now the dough has risen, I'm going to punch it down, knead it for a little bit, and then put it back covered and let it rise again. For our filling, we've kind of cheated a little bit because we've tried to look for fresh mak that we could grind ourselves. here in Vancouver, and for the life of us, we could not find it. So what we did is we went to Polonia Bakery, which is a Polish bakery here, and bought canned mak, which is already pre-prepared. It's already sweetened. It has raisins and walnuts. So that's what we're gonna use tonight for Makivynyk, because we really just can't find it anywhere else. My dough has now risen twice, so this is the second time. I'm going to flour my countertop, and then I'm going to divide this and roll it out, and then we're going to fill it. So I'm going to divide it, I think, into maybe 4. I'm gonna have 4 little rolls. So the book stated to roll this to about 1/4 inch thick. I've rolled out the dough as best as I can. Now it's time to spread the mak filling. Yurko, do you like it with less mak or more mak?
More.
How do you say more?
Більше.
Now I'm going to attempt to roll this into a roll. Is that how you seal it, or is there another way to seal it? The book just says seal the edges. And then I'm gonna put it into, let's hope it fits, yes! Into this well-greased pan. And this time I've liberally greased it with vegetable shortening, because in my previous baking, oh, it's too long! I did not grease my pan well enough, and my baking got stuck. So I've learned my lesson. I'm supposed to twist this for an interesting pattern inside. Okay. I've twisted it. And now I'm supposed to prick this with a knitting needle. I don't have a knitting needle. I don't knit. So I'm just gonna use a fork to do it. That allows the air to escape, I guess. And then I'm going to cover this and let it bulk up to double its size. Boop, 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 boop. So my roll has doubled in size. I'm ready to bake these. So I'm going to brush it with an egg that's been diluted with 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm just gonna brush it. And I'm going to bake this for 10 minutes at 375, and then I'm going to lower the temperature to 350 and bake it for about 30 minutes. The loaves are out of the oven. I have to say they're not the best because I made a pretty big mistake. If you remember, I said we're gonna bake it for 10 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit and then lower the temperature to 350 and bake it for an additional 30 minutes. Well, I forgot to lower the temperature and I baked it the entire time at 375, and this is what happened. And also, it cracked along the side and it's kind of exposing the mak. So this is not the best. Out of the 4 dishes I've made so far, this is not the best one, I have to say. It's almost a fail. But the funniest thing that I found in this recipe is that in the book, it basically said I have to bring a pillow and stand the loaves kind of overnight and on this pillow. So I thought that was weird, and if anyone knows the reason for that, please let me know. So I did get a cushion. I lined it with foil paper because I don't want to get grease or anything like that on my pillow, but yeah, there's a pillow in here. So these loaves are going to sit here and sleep overnight. Not really sure what the pillow is for. Oh well, but you know what? I tried. Hopefully the flavor is there. I'm not supposed to cut it until it's fully cooled. So we shall see maybe tomorrow. It's now the next day and the Makivynyk has rested on their pillow nicely overnight. And I've actually cut one up, and I have noticed that there is an air pocket that developed in here. So I have a feeling I know the reason why there's an air pocket. In the cookbook, it's stated to take a knitting needle and pierce it so that this scenario would not happen. I used a fork, if you remember earlier in the video. I guess I didn't pierce it enough. So next time I'm gonna go find a knitting needle the next time I do this. So this is what happened when I cut it up. It's kind of falling apart, but according to George, the flavor is there. The texture and flavor is there. Maybe the execution is not 100%, but isn't the flavor really what counts in the end? Overall, I did a pretty good job, I think, with the exception of the aesthetics. But the flavor and the texture is there, so that's what really counts at the end of the day. Stay tuned for my next adventures in Ukrainian cookery, and please like and subscribe and comment away. See you next time.